How do we detach from our habitual thoughts and even our habitual habits? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. I am the host of our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Challenging Times. On Mondays, we do a particular version of this show where we focus on what Suzuki Roshi called the beginner mind. So if you're new to meditation, if you're up for experiencing a little miracle in your everyday, ordinary life, good morning and welcome. And I will explain just the method and what is helpful. So there are three parts to this program. The first part is we always start with a little inspiration. And on Mondays, that inspiration is really about embracing a beginner mind, starting anew every day. The second part is the heart of the program, where we actually meditate in silence for 20 minutes. And theologians, psychologists, spirituality gurus all seem to come together on this 20 minutes of silence is absolutely transformational in our everyday, ordinary lives. And then the last part is really, rather than just jumping up after I ring the bell, it helps to take a few minutes just to engage back in the real world, in the other world. And we do that with a little Ignatian examine. And on Mondays, we just kind of look back over the week. We try to come from a place of gratitude and just notice where God came alive for us in our ordinary lives. St. Ignatius really believed with all his heart in the importance of the examine. That while we live our lives moving forward, we only understand them looking backwards. So for the newcomers today, and for those of us who've been meditating a while, I like to go back to Father Thomas Keating, who was a monk who spent the bulk of his life, 50 years, meditating. And what I love so much about his writings and work is they are so doable. So if you're new to the program, he says the method is almost too good to be true. You just sit down and you give the next 20 minutes to God. In his final chapter of his book, he summarizes the centering prayer method. And he says this: the method of meditation is designed to detach us from the ordinary flow of thoughts that reinforce our habitual way of thinking of ourselves and of looking at the world. It is like turning a radio from a long wave to a short wave. You may be used to a long wave set and the station it picks up. But if you want to hear stations from far away, you have to turn to the other wavelength. In a similar fashion, if you let go of your ordinary thinking and emotional patterns, you open yourself to a new world of reality. Let me repeat that. In a similar fashion, if you let go of your ordinary thinking and emotional patterns, you open yourself to a new world of reality. Although most of the following points have been discussed in previous chapters, a condensed summary of the practical aspects of the method may be useful. To do this systematically, take up a comfortable position that will enable you to sit still. Close your eyes. Half of the world disappears, for we generally think about what we see. In order to slow down the usual flow of thoughts, think just one thought. For this purpose, choose a word of one or two syllables which with you feel comfortable as a gesture or symbol of your consent to God's present and action within you during this period of centering prayer. All right, there it is in a nutshell. So I invite you, one of the ways we flourish is to turn off all technology, and I will set my timer for 20 minutes. I will turn everything else off so we won't be bothered. And then wherever you are, on the streets, in an apartment, out in nature, in your home, just get comfortable. Settle in. I have this beautiful bell that I will ring to begin the meditation. I'll do just a little guided meditation. On Mondays, I tell us when we're halfway through. And then I'll ring the bell again at the end of 20 minutes to signal the end of the meditation. So without further ado, let's get into it. So gently close your eyes, or 3/4 closed. Take the attention to the breath and begin. Listen, listen. The sound of the bell returns us to our true home. As always, we begin with diaphragmatic breathing, which is breathing deeply as possible into the belly 3 times. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Together, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale, bringing fresh oxygen to the brain and the body. Last time, deeply as possible. Inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Take your attention to the body. Start with the feet. Feel the soles of the feet pressed on to the green earth, our mother, and simply notice any sensations. Feel how solid the earth is beneath your feet. Moving up the body, we arrive at the chair, providing support. Every single one of us needs a little support in life. Let's reflect where we felt a little support over this weekend. And just lean into that support a little bit. Relax the shoulders, anything you've been holding on to this weekend, just let it go. Surrender. Let the stress, the tension just roll off the shoulders and let the earth receive it. She is certainly large enough to absorb it. And just notice if you feel any lighter. Take the attention to the heart and see if you can come up with something this morning that brings you a little joy and name it in one word. Gently place that word in the center of your heart. And as a community spread throughout the whole world, Scotland, Mexico, China, let's breathe one time, right smack into the middle of that joy. Inhale and exhale. Notice what you feel. Finally, we arrive at the forehead, the seat of intuition, the area between our eyebrows, and we focus on an intention for this morning. Something we desire deeply in our life in this moment, not being afraid to ask the Creator for something great and beautiful today. We'll seal that intention with an inhale and an exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the breath. Engage the secret word. Let's all drop down to the ocean floor and enjoy a little deep rest. Please continue. Believe it or not, we're already halfway done. If any thoughts or ideas keep arising, and that's just part of being human, take the thought, place it on a beautiful green leaf, allow the leaf to flow down a running blue stream, taking the thought with it. Then, ever so gently, take the attention back to the breath. If we can hear the in-breath, if we can listen to the out-breath, we will never be lost. Please continue. Hmm. We have just a little less than a minute left in the meditation. So for this last minute, I invite you to practice the ancient 17th century Tibetan practice of simply sprinkling a little joy over your meditation practice, over your life, and over the world. Please continue. Gently bring your attention back to the room. If your eyes were closed, go ahead, open the eyes, maybe circle the wrist a little, bring a little attention back into the body. Circle the shoulders one way and the other. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, drop. Shake out anything you've been holding on to. And come back into the room. If this was your first time meditating, congratulations, wonderful job, you did it. Ralph Waldo Emerson, a job well done is to have done it. Now the real invitation is to make it a way of life. So we'll move into the Ignatian Examine part of the program, which will just be for a couple minutes. And again, one of the ways, heard a beautiful saying the other day, the opposite of addiction is connection. And how do we build community in our lives? So this is a beautiful contemplative community with people from all over. But one of the ways we build a little community is to engage, to be a little vulnerable. So please feel free to share in the comments just where God came alive for you this weekend. And I'll try to model this a little by sharing just from my own lived experience this weekend. So it was really an amazing weekend. My friend the Taylors invited us out to their house in Venice for a little 4th of July party. And oh my gosh, on the way home back to Hollywood, I've never, on the 101 and the 405, it was like a firework show, spectacular. And then this Sunday was our Jesuit alumni mass, and the theme was Black Lives Matter. And Father E.K. preached the homily. It's on our Facebook page. I highly recommend listening to it. It was amazing. what caught my attention in it at the very end, Father EK really said, it's not enough to put Black Lives Matter on Facebook. We've got to go further with this. We've got to go deeper with this. So, uh, yeah, it was the 11 a.m. jam, Jesuit Alumni Mass. It was really amazing. And then the last thing would be, once again, I always say the gem of Hollywood, Blessed Sacrament, shines most brightly at that food pantry. Just a little shout out, it was closed on the 4th of July, and um, Chris at the center was able to get some peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Kettle Glaze donated a bucket load of boxes of donuts. And parishioners, let's see, Bob, he kind of oversaw the whole thing, even though it was closed. They got out there in front of the church and gave out of just outside of a truck a ton of delicious food away to people who were hungry. So I want to, yeah, shout out Bob. Some of you know Brother Henry is new to our community, and he is a mover and shaker. He was there, and he's like, if people are hungry, we're going to give them food if we have it. Joni was there. It was, am I forgetting anyone? Bobby handed out food. Um, it was really something special. And then again, this Tuesday we relaunch for the second time an extension of the food pantry. I don't know if anyone had a chance to read in the LA Times Steve Lopez's article about the importance of food pantries, especially during this pandemic. And of course, the Gospel, Matthew, when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat, is a way to really encounter God in a really live and beautiful way. So thanks, everyone. Happy Monday. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, we're here every morning, 9 to 10. And I will tell you, it helps to practice with your friends. So spread the word, invite friends, just share this, copy a little thing, and give it to them. And I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Monday. God bless.